Hi, you have tuned into the Raging Aggron channel, and I'm your host, Djingis, and I'm here with week 3 of our TBL season, and today we are facing Rapid Raven and Carolina Lycanrocs. I'm pretty sure the name is... No, Minnesota Lycanroc. Sorry, Carolina Lycanroc is another team in another league. And we can go through this team directly because I don't have much else to talk about. Celesteela, Megaladias, Sylveon, Volcanion, Jolteon, Serperior, Nidoqueen, and Terrakion. Looking at this team, it's very hard to prep overall for it because it has so many wall breakers and very good walls. So it's really hard to tear down his team. I have three Pokemon that I'm most scared of. It is Subleech, Seed, Serp, because that will be very, very hard for me to deal with. Subleech, Seed, Serp. If he brings that, he should be able to stall me out and defeat me, no problem. Then it's Autotomize Celesteela, because I have literally nothing for Assault Vest, not Assault Vest, Weakness Policy, Autotomize Celesteela, like nothing at all. It's very hard for me to deal with. And then it's Choice Scarf Nidoqueen. Choice Scarf Nidoqueen is a problem for me. It can outspeed most of my team. I'm pretty sure it even outspeeds my Mega, which is a bit of a problem, but I can deal with that. I feel like, at least. But those 3 monsters, if it brings those 3, I will have a very hard time facing them, because they tear through my team so easily. I'm not that scared of Volcanion, because I have a P2. P2 usually deals pretty easy with Volcanion. Megaladios, same thing. Megaladias, same thing there. P2 walls it. And then it comes to Terrakion. I have my Lotic for Terrakion. Jolteon I'm not scared of at all, and Sylveon can't really do too much to my team. So let's go with the team that I brought. First out we have Hatebreed, our Porygon 2, Eviolite, Trace, Recovery, Ice Beam, Psychic, Thunderbolt, 252 HP, 4 special attack, and 252 Assassinate. I just noticed that I had Trace in this battle when it should be Analytic. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at all. Or did I change that? It might be that I had Analytic in battle, guys. I'm not 100% sure anymore. But either one of them, because I don't remember Trace activating in battle. I think I had Analytic. This thing, like, he has nothing for Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and if I can catch his Terrakion on the switch in, I have a Psychic just there waiting for it that I can predict with. He can wall program pretty easy because I don't have Toxic, and Celesteela kinda walls me thanks to, even if I have Thunderbolt, it can still wall me, but Sylveon walls me 100%. And if this is the normal Sylveon set, like Wish, Protect, Toxic, Hyper Voice, then I will have so hard to deal with it with Porygon 2. Even if I wall it, he walls me back and can actually tear me down with Toxic Stall, which is a bit of a problem. Next up we have making its debut this week is Dream Theater, our Mega Alakazam, with Magikarp before it's Mega Evolved, and then it has Trace. Knockoff Psychic, Shadow Ball, Cold Mind, 168 HP, 252 Modest Nature, 252 Special Attack, Modest Nature, and 88 Speed. The 88 speed allows me to outspeed everything on his team after Mega Evolution, and 252 Modest Nature allows me to 1-hit KO. Well, after Cold Mind I deal at least 80% to everything on his team, even especially defensive Sylveon, which is so fucking insane that it's just mad. Knockoff is there in case I feel like I would rather go for Knockoff, get rid of items rather than Psychic or Shadow Ball. I don't think I will. I didn't need any other moves than Psychic or Shadow Ball, because they tear through his team so good, so easily as well. So yeah, HP Steal could have been something that I could have brought, but I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it was necessary. But yeah, Alakazam is just a great Pokemon overall to have on this team. It stops his team completely. After a Cold Mind, they can't touch it. Because the things that could actually deal with Alakazam must either be Scarfed or be bulky enough to take a +1 Shadow Ball or +1 Psychic. And most things doesn't do that. And those things that does do is Pokemon like Sylveon, which are especially offensive as well. So if I have +1, then my special defense is actually pretty high as well for an Alakazam. So that's no problem at all for me. Then we have AC/DC with Tapu Koko, Life Orb, Electric Surge, U-Turn, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Hidden Power Ground. I don't remember what I had Hidden Power Ground for. I think it is for the Jolteon. Yeah, it is for Jolteon and for Nidoqueen. This is my primary switch into Nidoqueen actually. If I know if it isn't scarfed. If it's not scarfed, then I can switch in with Tapu Koko, because this might sound so fucking crazy. I can actually switch in Tapu Koko on his stupid Nidoqueen, because if he's scarfed, he can't 1-hit KO me, and if he's scarfed, he might not be faster than me. That completely depends on his EV spreads. So that's the risk I'm willing to take, because the HP Ground does 1-hit KO, or close to 1-hit KO, Nidoqueen, and I can easily revenge kill it later on. Because I just need one hit off the Nidoqueen, and it's game on. It's game over. For that Nidoqueen at least. So yeah, that's why Tapu Koko can actually switch in once on Scrap Tapu Koko and click Hidden Power Ground and deal tremendous amount of damage. I don't see it happening in-game though, but it's still an option. I can do it if I am at full health. Then we have Lacuna Coil with Milotic, Flame Orb, Marvel Scale, Ice Beam, Skull, Toxic Recovery, 252 HP, 252 defense, Old Nature, 4 in special attack. Standard Milotic set, nothing too crazy here. This thing completely waltzes Terrakion. It completely walls Celesteela. Unless his weakness policy, then I can't do anything versus it. It's pretty hard for me to deal with it. But this is the best thing I have for weakness policy, Celesteela. Then we also have this is a pretty good switch into some other things on his team as well. But mostly it would be here for Terrakion and Celesteela. And Scald can actually 1-hit KO it's called Terrakion after it goes for close combat, which is pretty good to know. Then we have In Flames or Domanitan, Choice Scarf, Sheer Force, U-Turn, Earthquake, Flare Blitz, Rock Slide will be our leader 100% every single time. 252 HP, Adamant Nature, 4 special defense, 152 speed, outspeeds everything on his team barring Scoffers. And I want it to KO I think I want it to KO everything except for Terrakion on his team. Now even Terrakion dies to an Earthquake. Should get 1-hit KO. I think I actually 1-hit KO everything on his team. No, U-Turn doesn't 1-hit KO Bulky Megaladias. Everything else should drop to this Domanitan set, which is pretty nuts. Maybe fully defensive Sylveon can take a Flare Blitz, but I doubt it. So yeah, this is just a good Pokemon to have overall. It's such a wall-breaking house, destroys everything in its way. Enough said, it's a Domanitan. Then last but not least, we have another debut Pokemon. We have Alice Cooper, our Alolan Muck with Agua, Berry, Gluttony, Recycle, Clear Smog, Knockoff, Gunk Shot, 252 HP, 252 attack, Brave Nature, 4 special attack. Now, I'm not that bulky thanks to me not having any investments in defense or special defense. But thanks to the Recycle, I will actually be bulky enough to actually wall his team pretty well. If you don't know what Recycle does, it actually allows you to recycle the item that you have just used. So if I used Agua Berry, I can click Recycle, get it back, and be back at full. So it's pretty useful, but I can't switch out. After I switch out, the Recycle won't do anything. Clear Smog is there to get rid of setup sweepers that isn't steel types. Knockoff to get rid of weakness policy on Celesteela and other items, and Gunk Shot to just destroy everything on his team. Pretty easy. I don't have anything else to say on this set, so we will go right to the battle. Okay, here we are with our Week 3 battle versus Rapid Raven and the Minnesota Lycanrocs. You have seen our team. He brought the Terrakion, the Megaladias, the Surf, the Sylveon, the Volcanion, and the Jolteon. Looking at this team, I noticed that he didn't bring anything of what I thought he would bring. Looking at this team, it's very unlikely that he will be sub-Leech Seed superior, because that doesn't fit with the team he brought at all. And the only wall I see on his team, well, he can have 2 walls on his team. It could be AV, Volcanion, and then it's Sylveon. Those are the only 2 walls I really see on his team. Latias could be a wall as well, but I don't see that happening. I think Volcanion and Sylveon are the most likely walls here. Looking at his team, the only thing that he can lead with really versus me is the Jolteon, because he needs to switch out accordingly to what I switch in. Because nothing on his... If I lead Alakazam, I could actually 6-0 him pretty easy. And he doesn't want that to happen. So my switch in here... So my lead is actually 100% Darmanitan. Not Mega Alakazam, because Mega Alakazam could actually die to Shadow Ball from Specs Jolteon if I do miss prediction. So for me it's pretty easy to lead with Alakazam here. We can go down to slow, I think that's enough speed. Good. He leads Jolteon, I lead Darmanitan. And I go for the turn 1 EQ to kill the Jolteon. I'm 1 speed faster than Jolteon, his fastest thing. Now what does he do here? He goes out into Volcanion. I cannot one-hit KO Volcanion, so I have to switch out here and I go out into Porygon 2. And I am trace the Water Absorb to stop Steam Eruption, that's why. So he has to switch out here, goes into Superior, he gets the Leaf Storm boost. But I go for Ice Beam and that does close to 50%. But it doesn't do really 50%, which tells me that he has some form of bulk. Otherwise I would have done 50% to it. And I go for Ice Beam again after he hits his second Leaf Storm. He clicks Recover here and I click Leaf Storm. Not Leaf Storm, Ice Beam again. Well, since it's the same thing. And I click Ice Beam, bringing him down to 12%. And he decides to attack me. I'm pretty sure he attacks me this turn. Yeah, he attacked me this turn and he misses. That miss is so big. Because now P2 has 8 kills in 3 weeks. And that thing, the Superior, still doesn't have that. Which is great. It goes out into Terrakion. I go out into my Milotic. Because I'm not scared of Terrakion at all. He switches out into this thing and I click Toxic, predicting exactly that switch. So now his Volcanion will start to wear down pretty fast. And he has to switch out and he goes out into Sylveon. And I go just for Recovery in case he wants to attack me. I don't really care if he did or not. I go for Toxic again, Toxicing his... Sylveon as goes for Calm Mind. That Calm Mind I don't really care about because he's toxic, he can't really do anything, and if he's Calm Mind he doesn't have room for Heal Bell, which is great for me. I just go out into P2 with the Pixelate and he goes for another Calm Mind. I just go for Recover here, hoping that he does something stupid. And he clicks Protect. And I am, okay, thank you so much, I am at full health now, or more or less full health. I am at 82% after that Recover. You can't Tooth KO me, and you will lose so much health every single time with the Toxic. You go for Wish, I click Psychic, doesn't do too much damage, but it's just in case it goes out into Terrakion on me, which it did last time. So he just keeps clicking Calm Mind and so forth here, and he can't really do anything to me. Sure, he gets the Wish here, but toxic damage is so big that he loses 30% of his health every single time. He goes for Hyper Voice, that's 44% to me, and I just go for Psychic here. And he's more or less dead. He has to switch out here. He goes out into Latias, and I click Recover. I'm at full health, I can't really do anything versus me again. Now, he goes for Calm Mind again on this thing. I don't really care, just go for Ice Beam. That does absolutely nothing, so it must be about max HP. Don't really care, I go out into the only thing that's completely walls him. That is my Alolan Muck, and it goes for Dragon Breath. He meant to have Dragon Pulse, but Dragon Breath actually turned out to be quite a problem for me because of the Paralyze that just happened. But I get Mega Berry back up to full, and I go for Clear Smog, get rid of his stats boosts. And he goes for another one. And I just click Recycle here because I knew that he was going to go for... I know that he can't touch me if he doesn't have the +2. And I just go for Knockoff here, dealing tremendous amount of damage to him. And he attacks me, I get the Aggro Berry again, and I click Recycle, but I get Paralyzed. No, I did not, I went for Clear Smog, yeah, that's right. Instead of killing him, went for Clear Smog. And then he goes for Dragon Breath, and I try to go for the Recycle, but I got Paralyzed. He goes out into Terrakion. I go for Recycle, get the Aggro Berry, but I'm not at 50%, so I don't get the full. So I just have to switch out into my Milotic here, and that does a good amount of damage. But thanks to the burn, it actually does more damage than I wanted to. That's the only problem with having this set on Milotic. Stone Edge does way too much damage, and I don't get the burn with Scald. It doesn't do enough damage to him. So he can actually knock me out here. And I actually had to let him knock me out so I could go out freely into Alakazam and one-hit KO everything on his team from here. And get the Trace Ward Absorb, which is actually pretty good. I go for Psychic, more or less kills Volcanion. His leftovers Volcanion, doesn't really matter though. And I go for Psychic and bye-bye Volcanion. And he goes out into Sylveon here, I just click Psychic and it destroys him. In comes the Mega Latias, I click Shadow Ball. I could have gone Psychic as well, but I didn't want to risk it. In case it was specially defensive, it could have actually survived Psychic. Then I just click Psychic to clear up the last thing here. So yeah, this was our week 3 battle. We actually walled this team pretty easy with P2, Milotic, and Muck. We dealt pretty well with the things on his team. The 2 biggest threats that I could think of he didn't bring, which meant that my team was superior in any way, no pun intended. And P2 was and is the superior kill leader in the league. Serp is still stuck at 5 or 6 kills, and we have 8 with P2 now after killing Superior. We have only lost 1 Pokemon in 3 battles, and that was Milotic, and that was a sack that I had to make. We are currently 3-0 and plus 17 in differential. Unless I lose every single match, we are in playoff guaranteed already, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, because if I go 4-4, I still will have the best differential in the league, and 4-4 should be able to get me to playoffs. So I mean, I'm fine for playoffs for the first time ever. I will not lose every single game that is left, I know that for sure. And I'm actually going to... next week will be the toughest battle of the season, 100%. We're going to face off Thorsac in the... Thorsac in the next week, and he is so... he's great. He's a great battler. He has been so much... He has improved so much since... since we joined the PSL and then joined the ABL, and he actually beat me in the ABL, which I did not see coming. Great prep on his part, bad prep on my part, but I feel like I have the upper hand in this matchup, thanks to Darmanitan, Coco, and Mega Alakazam, and also the bulk that I have. But looking at this team, it will be a very hard battle next week, so you will see. I can very well lose next week. I don't plan on losing next week, but it very well could happen. Without further ado, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will leave, as always from last week, I will leave a link to my Discord server in the description. Go watch that and join up if you want to get first-hand information about what is happening on the channel. Feel free to leave a subscribe if this is your first time watching this content. I don't usually say that, but I want to hit 100 subs as fast as possible so I can hit my goal, my GR goal, which is pretty nuts that I already have that possibility to do that. And I might actually be able to hit my goal of 10,000 channel view, 10,000 minutes shown in this channel as well. So feel free to stay around. I'm very close to hitting my goals for the year, which I didn't think I would hit within the first 3 months, which is insane that I actually will do, as if it keeps going on like this. So yeah, thank you once more for watching this video. I will see you next time, guys.